They were giants, not just tall men, but powerful beings born from a secret that shook heaven and earth. They were called the Nephilim. Their story begins long before Noah's Ark, in a time when angels walked the earth, and one man saw it all coming. His name was Enoch. Welcome to the Bible Stories with Gian channel. Long ago, before the flood covered the earth, the world was filled with people. They farmed, built cities, and raised families. But behind the scenes, something strange was happening, something not everyone could see. The Bible tells us in Genesis 6 that the sons of God came to earth and married the daughters of men. Their children were giants, mighty and terrifying. These giants were called Nephilim, and they weren't like regular people. They were different, strong, wild, and dangerous. But how did this happen? Who were these sons of God? And why did God decide to flood the whole earth? The answer lies in a forgotten story, the story of Enoch. Enoch was a man who loved God. The Bible tells us in Genesis 5:24, Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. That means Enoch didn't die like everyone else. God took him alive, body and soul, into heaven. Enoch was the great-grandfather of Noah. He lived in a time when evil was growing fast, but Enoch stayed close to God. He listened, he obeyed, and God showed him secret things, heavenly things, about what was coming. Though his story is short in Genesis, ancient believers knew more about Enoch. There is even an old book called the Book of Enoch that tells how God showed him visions of heaven, the future, and the fall of the angels. According to the Book of Enoch, there were 200 angels called Watchers. These angels were supposed to guard and help humans, but they broke God's command. They came down to earth, landing on a tall mountain called Mount Hermon, and there they made a terrible choice. They saw human women and desired them. They took wives for themselves, even though it was against God's will. From this forbidden union, giants were born, the Nephilim. They weren't just big, they were cruel. They brought chaos and evil. They taught people dark secrets, how to make weapons, perform magic, and even how to destroy life. This was more than sin. It was corruption. The world began to change. People turned from God. Violence spread. Even the animals and plants were affected. It was as if the earth itself was groaning. God saw the world and was heartbroken. Genesis 6:6 says, "The Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart." But not because people sinned. This was deeper. The very DNA of life was being altered. The Watchers had tampered with creation itself. Yet in all this darkness there was one man who still walked in the light. His name was Noah. Genesis 6:9 says that Noah was perfect in his generations. That doesn't mean sinless. It means his family line had not been corrupted by the angelic bloodline. God chose Noah. He gave him a mission: build an ark. A great flood would come to wash the earth clean, not just to judge, but to save humanity from extinction. Before the flood, Enoch had already been taken, but his message lived on. He warned about the Watchers and their sin. He told of the giants, and he spoke of a day when the Lord would return with thousands of holy ones to bring justice. In fact, the New Testament quotes Enoch. In Jude 1:14-15, it says, "Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied, 'Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his saints.'" Enoch saw the punishment of the Watchers. He wrote that God locked them away in chains, deep in a dark place. Jude 1:6 agrees, saying the fallen angels are now kept in eternal chains under darkness until the judgment. You might be wondering, why does this matter today? Because Jesus gave us a clue. In Matthew 24:37, he said, "As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man." Think about that. The same kind of corruption, the same kind of rebellion And maybe even the same kind of spiritual darkness will rise again before Jesus returns. Could the world see a return of something like the Nephilim? Could ancient evils rise again? We don't know for sure. But the Bible tells us to watch, pray, and stay close to God. So what can we learn from Enoch, Noah, and the Watchers? That God is always watching, that righteousness matters, that when the world turns dark, God raises up people who walk with Him. Enoch didn't just escape death, he became a messenger of hope. Noah didn't just build an ark, he preserved the future of mankind. And you are living in a time of great mystery and spiritual battle, but like Enoch, you can walk with God. Stay strong, stay in the Word, keep your heart pure and your eyes open, because the days of Noah may come again, but those who trust in the Lord will rise above the flood. If this story opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe to Divine Revelations. We're on a journey to uncover the hidden truths of the Bible, one mystery at a time. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Walk with God, hold fast to truth, and never stop seeking the light. God bless you all.